If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that white boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding because we all came from hunger pain.
Yeah.
Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bring that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, come on with another wonderful episode of, that's right, you best believe it, Beast Vibes Life. We back. It's Sunday. We having some fun. I'm gonna throw it right over here. Before we even get started, we ain't in here by ourselves. While you're liking, while you're subscribing, while you're sharing this out, so you, your mama, and your cousin too can watch it, I'm gonna give it over to the man, the myth, the legend, Arckatron. What's up?
Hey, how y'all doing today? It's me, Arckatron. That's ARCKATRON.com is where you can find me, and you can find me on all platforms, social medias, and stuff. Hit me up. Just DM me because I don't be on it like that, but just DM me. I'll be posting here and there. You know what I mean? Life is good. Life is great.
That's what's up. He out there making them beats. Speaking of beats, I just yesterday I was listening to a little bit of some old school Arckatron. I was listening to what was the song? Matter of fact, give me my phone real quick. I'm gonna break out the song that I was listening to. I was like, I think I might. I don't know if I'm on that project or not. Let me see. I know because I took a picture of the dash when it came on because I'm gonna post it later. Let's see what was the name?
What were you listening to?
Because see, I got you in the rotation, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, when we met, the first time we met, I think I just was about to drop like Unheard for my first project. So if you say you got some old Arckatron, we talking spanning about 14 years. So you got to let me know What era are we talking about? Is it Y Arcka? Is it Young
This
Architect?
is
Is it what is Arcka? This one about-
the song is called "Make It Loud" featuring Redline. That beat is the little fresh. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know what that sample? That's Lenny Williams. The joint that Overnight Celebrity. Same sample.
Oh, word.
That's where I sampled it from. Those are the one that you gotta really be like on it like that to know that sample.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna post that later because I took the photo yesterday. I was riding back from some CCW stuff I was doing. So like I was like, when I heard the beat come on, I was like, oh. I know this kind of beat. I know who made this beat. And I looked at the dashboard. I said, oh. I know who that is.
Man, that's so far back. That's what 2011 or 12. I released that. That was a while ago.
Okay.
Almost 10 years ago. That's crazy.
Shouts to Jenna James. Shouts to
Hey, what's going on?
But yeah, I heard that joint and I was like, yo, I know who made this beat. I got to know. I looked, I was like, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Look, Arckatron joints come up in my rotation because I do random all. So I could be listening to some EDM or some Usher or some Earth, Wind and Fire or some Redman. It depends. You never know. It could be some music from a video game and the very next song is Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying? So you never know what you're going to get. So like I got a whole bunch of because I bought the whole catalog, B. You know what I'm saying? The whole catalog. Yes,
you did buy the whole catalog. That's a lot of music.
Which you can buy on Arckatron.com.
Arckatron.com.
So the only thing that makes me mad is like my joints never come up on it. I'm like, it's not me no more. All right. my radio, like, you know what you sound like, so don't even worry about it. Mind your own business.
Yeah.
But shouts to Kid at Heart. We are here to talk about two new guests, or the newest guests, I guess, on Math Hoffa's show that were Method Man and the Rockwilder. And I was happy to see these. And I was excited because I was like, hold up, I didn't know this was going on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no one told me he was coming back on again because I didn't even know he was on before. So I'm gonna have to go back and check that last one. But just the stuff that I was like, you know what? There's some good gems in here. I want to actually talk about this one. Not saying that there's never good gems. There's, he had some awesome guests. I'm gonna have to look and see. Has he ever had Buster on? Because Buster's my new number one, right?
I don't think I've seen Bus on there. I've seen Q-Tip has one. I'm gonna go back and watch.
Oh yeah, Tip is on there.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I did. I listened to it one night, working and stuff. I listened to it, the whole thing. It was a lot. It was a lot in that one too. But I want to go back and probably revisit it now on like fresher mind and fresher.
Because I remember that clip with the one with Tip on there. But of course, since he puts like the snippets up first, I never got a chance to see the whole thing. So I'm pretty sure the whole thing is up now. So I'm gonna go back. Check out the whole thing.
Check both of them out. Like Rockwilder one and Meth Man one came out in the last 2 days. So y'all can go check that out.
I'm gonna start out on the point of Method Man using the term jotting.
Jotting.
Yes. So okay. I am in a group chat with two extremely good musicians, all right? And they might not be as forgiving as I am when it comes to certain people. All right, now Method Man is on my top 10. We did our top 10 list a long time ago. Method Man is on there. Redman's on there, Black Thought's on there, Busta Rhymes on there. So he's on there. And I'm like, yo, Method Man's on there? Oh, say less. I'm watching it. All right? But, there's some people calling him Clip. I ain't going to say who those people are, but it was calling him Clip. And I was like, look, his name is Method Man, a.k.a. Johnny Blaze, a.k.a. Hot Nickels, a.k.a. I don't know, whatever.
Nicolas Cage roles, yeah.
But they were like, look, they asked me. These people said, well, one person said, hey, I want you to name the last album from Method Man that you listened to and what year it came out. Unfortunately, it was back in 99 and 98. But he also hasn't really released albums like that since then. You know what I'm saying?
He's got like 4 or 5 albums.
With other people or his solo joints? Because all I've seen is singles from him ever since then.
Okay, he's from my memory right now. He has Takal Zero, which is the one that had Busta joint with What's Happening. Remember that joint with him and Busta?
I thought that was just a mixtape. I didn't know that was an actual album.
Yeah, a whole album around that, I believe. Me and Anwar just talked about it.
Okay,
the other album I can think of is 421, The Day After. He also had that album. He had an album with Hands On. It was called it wasn't a mixtape. It definitely was an album. So I know from top at least 3 albums.
So excuse me. I thought those 2 albums, 421 and Takal Zero, were mixtapes. So now that I know that they're studio, I'm one of those people. This isn't to diss any rappers out there. Mixtapes to me, like I prefer an album. So when I see a mixtape, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? No big deal.
Meth Lab. That's what it was called. Meth Lab.
But okay, so now that I know those are albums, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna listen to those this week while I get my work on and stuff, because I gotta get the download. See, I thought those were just, you know how. Okay, in a lot of cases, rappers don't really put too much stock into mixtapes and stuff like that, and it's just throwaway joints just to keep the streets a little, put a little water out there on the streets so the streets don't dry up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really put too much stock in mixtapes, but now that I know that those are real full albums, I'm gonna go check them out. So with that said,
he got at least 4. I'm looking at it right now. He got the Cal Zero, 421, Meth Lab, which came out 7 years ago.
Okay.
And Meth Lab Season 2, Lithium, came out, which that one I didn't even know about. Came out in 18. And he has Season 3 that is either coming out this year or already came out.
Oh, word. Okay. And I know he got a joint with Havoc that he's working on. Yeah. And there's supposed to be another album somewhere floating around that he's working on with someone else.
Probably Redman, if anybody.
Yeah, probably.
Redman need to do another album.
So I was feeling like, the people that, in this chat, I felt like, Method Man wasn't getting any support. You know what I'm saying? From the core supporters, all right? We call him Cliff, all right? I was like, his name ain't Cliff no more. But I guess you could also say, mama name him Cliff. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call him Cliff, I guess. But still,
I'm going to call him Shotgun.
So he kind of covered just jotting and kind of like throwing stuff out there that was just randomly on his mind, but not, I guess, fully trying to formulate full verses, but just kind of like, okay, this sounds cool, verse done. You know what I'm saying? And he even mentioned kind of it becoming a job to him. And I mean, to a certain extent, it is a job, but, even though it is a job, when it becomes a job, you have a different energy. And I'm gonna throw it to you because I want to get your thoughts, because you got to know what my thoughts are. I'll ask you this: have you ever felt like Method Man had dropped in quality? And if you do think that he's dropped in quality, do you think that he's coming back or no?
I feel he dropped in quality during Blackout. Redman, for me, was kind of like getting meth on a lot of songs. And it was showing. I was like, oh, Method Man, he stuck with that flow for like a good 10 years on all those albums that we just named, like most of those ones, the earlier ones.
Okay.
He sounds like that. He kept in that kind of lane for a while. And it was fine. I feel that was his jotting era. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And I feel since the Black Thought freestyle, which I feel Black Thought was the better of the two, but it made me also think about Method Man in a way like, oh, he's still there. Like I was like, his stuff that he spit was dope. I'm like, he's still there. I never thought he was gone. I mean, like felt like he was punching the clock for a while, and I noticed it. And me and Anwar talk about Wu all the time. So we
and y'all know I love Wu, but we got when it comes to math, because my opinion. All right, so Kid at Heart says I think he got lazy and busy with other activities, but he always had it. And for me, I will say this. I think there's a mix of a couple things. One, he's not the shiny new toy anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not 92, 93 no more. So, like now, there's other new people. So, of course, you're not going to think Meth is as dope as he used to be because he's just not the new toy. And also that, yes, he started feeling like this is kind of draining. This is a job. Like he said, he lost whole summers to either touring or making albums. But to me, even in his, I guess, like Jotun era or lazy era or whatever, still think he was better than like a good 70 to 80% of the dudes out there, if not more. Like his Jotun era was still, I still think his Jotun era, but I know music has changed as far as rappers continue to flow and form and morph and branch off and all that stuff. But I would still, even in his Jotun era, I would rather listen to a Jotun Meth verse than like the hardest, trying verse from a lot of these guys. But I also know that I was born in a different era. You know what I'm saying? I was born in a different time. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying people saying they prefer Oscar Robertson. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I mean, I get it. You were born at a different time. I felt
judging it on himself is where I like on the Method Man standard. I felt like there was a drop in quality. Like there needed to be some Q&A, and we needed someone to say, Method Man, we know what you're doing. Can you just, because I listened to those albums, like at least 3 of those 5 albums since Blackout. Even Blackout too. I listened to it. Ooh, I don't want to listen to it.
Blackout 2, it's, I will say this. Blackout 2 does kind of feel like, it feels like a label obligation. That's kind of what it feels like. The label made us do this, even though we like doing it and we like each other. The label made us do this in a way that wasn't organic. Like we weren't like, hey man, look, what you doing? I don't know, nothing. You want to make an album? Sure, let's go. It was more like they got the call from Def Jam saying, look, you owe us another one. Another one. Another one.
Another one.
So yeah.
It was a real song.
Yes.
It was a song.
Yes, it was a song. True that. So I don't know where to go when he says it himself, but to be like, well, yeah, he said it and he kind of broke down exactly why. And there's a certain person that's on our chat group. I will defer to you. Yes, you know what I'm saying? There was an era where he was jotting. And even when he did that freestyle with Black Thought, you could tell there was a difference. But for me, I didn't see a difference in, I guess, skill level. It was more, for me, it was just more of a difference in styles. Like, because Black Thought his style is so different. I actually enjoyed having those two in the room bouncing off. Almost kind of like you know what? I was about to say like a masterclass. All right, picture this. Black Thought, Mos Def, Eminem. They were in that BET freestyle cypher or whatever a long time ago. A long time ago. I would like to sub out Eminem input Method Man at that time.
What year was that? It was like 99, 98?
I think it was like 99, 98.
Like Raucous time?
I think so. It might have been early aughts, like maybe 04 or something.
Oh.
It might have been somewhere in that time. Someone in the chat, if you know, let us know. But there was a BET Cypher. You know how they do them every year. There's a BET Cypher. They get some rappers. They put them together.
Yeah.
And it was
I remember
Mos
when
Def.
did it.
Yasin Bey, but Mos Def at the time. Yasin Bey, Black Thought, and Eminem. And I would like to. I would request the hip hop deities. I would request to go back in time.
You're right. No, you're right. I see it right here. It says Mos Def, Black Thought, and Eminem. Okay.
What year?
It was in two. Oh, hold on. Let's see what year it was. Somebody was talking about it, but maybe I'm tripping. Support and update. That's too much information. Give me the information.
I just want to know what year. But yeah, I think at that time, if we put in Method Man, I mean, not that the freestyle, not that Eminem was whack or anything. It's just that Eminem is a very specific spice and ingredient. And I don't think that spice and ingredient works for me. I'll say that. You know what I mean? Because I know.
I don't even think I remember this actually.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
No, I don't think I've seen like those cypher things. I was missing those, like, because I'm like, I don't know.
I would check in if it was. I would check in if it was someone that I was interested in, and at that time, you know what I mean? We talked about, Yasin Bey and Black Thought and stuff like that. So we've talked about them. You guys know.
Yeah.
Gideon Hart said that's an awfully hot coffee pot. Matches Malone said it was 05 or 06. Yeah, I don't know why I was feeling like it was 04. So yeah, probably 05 or 06. I know it was something like early aughts.
Black Thought.
Okay, go on. All right.
No,
so
somebody said it said 2009.
What?
2009.
No, not that late, was it?
I'm looking at it. I'm on jeans.com. It says a BT Award Cypher.
Wow.
3. Why did my phone just
2009?
So weird. Phone just fell asleep.
That seems like
so weird.
Super later than I thought. But anyway,
yeah, with that, I'm looking at the whole thing. Yeah, 2009. It was the third cipher. It was the third year of them doing the cipher.
Wow. 09.
Wow. He was already Yasin Bey. It looks like he might have been already Yasin Bey. He definitely was Yasin. Oh, that was a static time. So that's a good most. That's good most. That's a static most time. Okay.
Yeah. And
Black
so
Thought, I think he was still doing those Roots albums. So I don't know if this is my favorite Black Thought.
But the cipher was on point, and I think if we were able to kind of get that energy in the room, maybe that would have helped him flow back up. Maybe
that would have been Blackout 2 Meth, man. That would have been Blackout 2.
Yeah,
Meth.
But I think him being around them, because look at the energy change we've seen since the kind of like freestyle with Black Thought. Like just kind of like the energy and change, because just being around, I think, and then of course, bottom line is we all getting older. We got other things to do. We got kids, maybe some grandkids on the way. Because he's 51. There's some people 51. That's 40 and grandparents.
His birthday was in April. He's 51.
So I mean, there's some
71 year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Born in 71.
So it's some people out there. There's some people out there that's got grandkids by now. So you got other obligations, and I respect that. But I think if he was around those two at that time, or even around the rest of the Wu at that time, because of course they split up, they got things to do. They got their own families and businesses or whatever, not being kind of able to test your sword against like Dak or Ghost or Master Killer or whoever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, of course he even said they keep in touch, but just not being in that, I guess, that atmosphere to where it's like, I gotta push for this. Like I can't just jog on this one. I gotta.
They were fighting for spots on the album. The way RZA was always talking about it. So if they're fighting for spots, that means that they had to, be the best in his eyes, which is still, but either way, he got the best out of them, and he kept
at that time,
the best performances at the time. So I think that's he needs that push. I always felt like Method Man's first album was done a disservice on a multiple level, and he talks about it, like where RZA had the flood, and that flood changed the whole like mood of that album. If you think about like, if you already had this, okay, if you make a song and then you come back and someone says, oh, we deleted the song, or the song got destroyed in some kind of fire or something, how would you feel? Like, when you had to redo that song again? It's like that energy. You might not get the performance. RZA had to recreate beats from scratch again on a short window, a short time frame. You kind of just have to go. So in one way, it's remarkable that it came out. It's remarkable that it still sounds good enough to be a Wu-Tang's first effort after 36 Chambers. And then from there, it's on to the race. You have Dirty's album. You got Ray, Jizza, Ghost. It's a sweep. It's a literally like 3 years.
I was listening to Damage the other day, and I was like, dang, that joint still.
Yeah. So just think about Method Man. Think about Method Man's performances on all of those albums. If you take them all together, he has his best verses. Sad to say, on those albums, like his own album, I would say he has the best verses on his features. For me, he was Mr. Feature. I love to hear Method Man feature. The what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like his features. Then you have High. You have the Redman connection.
Yep.
It just like, I feel like his career, even though it wasn't what we wanted it to be for his first album, I feel career-wise, he's done some remarkable things. He has some remarkable verses, like remarkable. Like, yo, this is you. How did you come up with this? You are Johnny Blazing on this,
Yeah,
so out of respect.
Even that song I didn't know about that you showed me, that you played me, Diesel. I never even heard Diesel, and I was like,
"Oh yeah!" I was like,
Ray was bouncing on that joint.
Kill a chatter, blood splash,
man, Ray
point like a javelin. I'm like, yeah, this guy is
Ray killing on that one.
Yeah, Ray and Meth were like at their zenith. I feel like, and then but I feel like that was like a good moment. I'm like, why did this song like not be on the Wu-Tang Forever album? It sounded like they were so hungry to be on this song. Even Dirty had like 3 verses.
That's one of them joints as RZA, I would have probably been like, hey, look. This can't go on this soundtrack. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This gonna have to go on out.
Or put it on both, Put it on both, like don't throw that song away.
And then of course drop the Cocoa Butter song. And then
they could go right there too. That'd be a good ending song too. Like, and then goes right to Ray's I See Anything. That'd be perfect.
So so yeah, that's kind of how I felt about the Jot and stuff. But he also brought up other things like his acting, which I've seen him in different stuff. I've seen him do well in roles, but I had no idea how much kind of like excitement and enthusiasm, how much love he has for the craft of acting. I was like, oh snap! Even to the point,
like he's been studying. Like,
I thought of. Yeah, he was like, he brought up directing, and he was like, nah, but I don't want to do all that work.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on set. He's been around since like his first. He was in Belly. He was in Oz, which when he talked about it, I was like, I forgot he was in Oz. He was in The Wire, of course. He's in Power, but then he got movies, How High. Like he's been in things on his own and a part of an ensemble cast. He was in this movie Peppermint with Jennifer Gardner. He's in that cowboy movie, that cowboy Philly cowboy movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Think of the name of that.
Well, Idris Elba, he's in that movie too. So and I think that's probably one of his best roles is in that movie. So I've seen most stuff he's been in, and like I see him getting better, him like studying the craft and really honing in and like trying to become the actor. Like LL's transition. LL's transition. He's acting. This man's going on set. Yeah, he was in in the house, and then you got NCIS or whatever one NCIS Los Angeles or Miami, one of them.
Yeah, one of them, you know, out there getting his NCIS. And they actually brought up, no, I think Rockwilder brought up LL. I can't remember who, if Math or, I think Math brought up LL.
No, Math brought up LL when they were talking about sex symbol and like him not wanting to be the sex symbol.
Which is something
like
that I thought was interesting. Where because looking back, of course, he said looking back, it was good because me thinking like, hey, this is something that's unexpected, but dude, this is gonna make money. But I can also understand him being like, yo, I don't want to be misunderstood. We're the Woo, we ain't playing, we from out the gutter, we gonna, use the, what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not for it's not for a joke.
And even him referencing Big Daddy Kane and how like when he started being like a sex symbol, he didn't he didn't like him no more. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like him no more. I'm Rakim. I'm Rakim now. Rakim, my guy. But that was always the debate, right? Rakim or just like Big, Big or Pac or Nas or Jay. It was always that like debate of this or that.
Yeah,
I mean, can't be both. I'm like, yeah, I like both,
Yeah, and I do. It's funny because LL was able. It's weird because he brought up LL, which is probably the best example of like sort of like a hip hop sex symbol from the male side. But LL did it in a way where he never seemed like he was like pandering to women. You know what I'm saying? Like he did it. It never seemed like even in songs like hey,
later on. Like, I would say later on, Buff LL. I think that was. Don't forget Buff LL in the water, in the little splash waterfall water. I think that was maybe the only few moments where I'm like,
yeah. But I mean, his songs that LL made that were about girls never came off corny. Like you as a guy can listen to it. You can listen to it and be like, yo, man, this joint is alright. Like this is a good song.
Yeah, the songs themselves. Yeah, the songs definitely like rang off.
Doing it or Hey Lover, even back to radio, even back to
Round the Way Girl.
Round the Way Girl. Jingling Baby,
Jingling Baby.
Like those type of songs, they were still like they had like this. I don't know, like this just like perfect amount of edge to be like, this is, I say this. Yeah, I say, I listen to this. And, and that's kind of what I think we got from the whole All I Need, you know what I'm saying? And All I Need was a song. First, All I Need was huge. Like I don't think people remember because of course it's 2022, but All I Need
the
was
crazy
huge.
part is that like All I Need
everybody was trying to look like you, dog. Like you don't understand. Like people was trying to have braids. People was trying to like have the clothes.
All right, so here, listen to this. So like the All I Need on the album is not the version that everyone knows.
No, it's the remix version everyone
knows.
If
you listen to the album version, it's way like dark, not darker, but like the beat is just like it's a RZA muddy. It's very muddy.
Yeah, it's very.
But it works for like kind of what the tone was. I feel the remix was dope. The remix was dope, but I feel like it made now blended into that line because you're working with Puffy and Mary. You blend into the line of now be trying to become the sex symbol or trying, like not his fault. I would say it was probably just an accidental kind of like falling into it. But I felt the original had the sound of it had the tone of what Method Man was, where he was coming from. But both versions are dope to me. Like it's good to see like two people's directions on the music behind the lyrics, or music behind the feeling of what Method Man was trying to express.
Right, word. Now, I do want to jump into Rockwilder real quick. Who is there anything else besides those things that kind of jumped out to you with the Method Man interview?
What was it again? Just kind of like he always says like he's like not into politics, which is very and I've heard him say this in a couple other interviews. that was one thing. But I don't want to like. That's not the main thing. Oh yeah, like how he was acting towards like Beyonce and them. Like that was interesting and telling like where his mind was at the time.
Okay, so that's a clip I didn't see. So bust that down for me.
Okay, so he made a public apology in this interview to them because at the time it was I forgot what year it was, but it was still Destiny's Child. It was the original 4.
Oh, the original Destiny.
Yeah, the original Destiny's Child.
Destiny 1.0.
Yeah. So wait. So he met them. Oh, so it was at Janet Jackson like icon like performance, and they were there, and he came up to them and was like, "Hi, like, hey, how y'all doing?" And they didn't even like look his way, and he felt some type of way about that. So then, like, I think it was like either that same party or like the next, like it was like after party or whatever, and someone introduced him, like, "Hey, this is Method Man," whatever, and he was like at it with that Hollywood stuff, and like kind of like just like dissed him, and like he never talked about it ever, like they never like. He never probably saw them again, and just like he had a relationship with Jay-Z, of course, because but this is like almost like pre-Jay-Z time. So
like, this is way before Jay-Z time.
Yeah, so it was interesting, like for him to like admit that, like, yeah, I just was feeling like that like nobody was really giving me that respect, in a way, like that.
So basically he goes up to them like, hey.
He was saying, he also admits that it was loud in the place, so they probably didn't even hear him. So he just felt like this is like
there are those miscommunications where it's like, yo, man, you saw
like
me.
The person don't even know. They have no idea. And then you come up, and then first time meeting, you're like, yo, it's Method Man. They probably had you on their wall. They post like, it's Method Man. 94, they're like, Beyonce's probably like 10 or whatever, or like 14. So they probably had Method Man on the wall. So they're like, and they come up, it's Method Man, and then like he's just like, get out of here with that Hollywood stuff.
Like, I tried to say hey to y'all earlier.
Yeah. So he felt some type of way. That was interesting for like it's good. Like Anwar said in our chat, like it was good to see him be himself, like speak candidly about things. He never really does this in interviews because
I never heard
probably because of how interviews used to go back in the 90s, where like you had like the Wendy Williams and kind of buy things out of you.
Wendy Williams, and now you have the Charlemagne, who's a baby of Wendy.
And the Charlemagne, who's the extension of Wendy Williams, because he used to work with Wendy.
Not even a baby, is straight up extension. You're right.
Yeah. So like that was interesting. Like this him being candid was just so interesting to hear him talk about it. What other thing was this? Just this. I think that's like
that's something that I'm glad that semi-changed with music journalism, because like the Wendy Williams thing was like the style of the 90s. Because
starring Buck Wild.
Everybody, starring Buck Wild. That's a whole. For better or for worse, starring Buck Wild kind of created their own lane, but they also. That kind of style, the Wendy Williams style, all that just stirred up mess all the time. And it was almost like journalism back then was like they were trying to get rappers to be angry at other rappers. It was like,
they were trying to make.
Did you know they said this?
Yeah. It was very strange why they were doing that. Like this journalism style is like terrible for the industry. Like, like drudging up.
You say something, or they'll cut you off before you finish. So now this rapper think you got an issue with him, and you like, nah, man, they ain't even. Or they mess up the interview, like when they write it out or whatever, and you like, I ain't even like.
Yeah, they change your words.
It's like, yo, I said a whole 3 paragraphs after that, and they ain't even put that in.
They put a period, like that was it. The period. they put that in the big one. Like the big section. Like. Like a period, like no, that was a dot. That is more than
like I don't know, like DMX or something. Rest in peace. And then you talk about DMX, and it's like, oh well, I don't really listen to DMX, but it won't be a situation where it's like, oh no, I don't really listen to him because that's not kind of like my mind frame or whatever. No, it'll be like, I don't listen to DMX said by Method Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, I didn't even
they were
say it like that. Like,
reinterpreting what they were saying. Like they're reinterpreting. It's like there's no need for that. Just
It's
say
like-
exactly what I said.
And then
You know.
even Method Man or like the person will like go on for like maybe 2 or 3 more sentences being like, yeah, because, you know, I kind of like stay in this headspace because even though he's good, you know, that energy is kind of rough on me or something like that. So it's like completely understandable. But when they put it out, it's like, I don't listen to DMX. And then it's like, Method Man, : I don't listen to DMX.
DMX, yeah, it's stuff like that. So those journalists were just ruthless back then. And it's funny you say that. This is super sidebar, but it has to do with journalists. It's a '98 interview with Q-Tip. It was like 3 minutes on like YouTube. It's a snippet of the interview, and the guy kept hounding him like, "Why did you use JD? Why didn't you use Paul? Paul meaning not Prince Paul. No, not Prince Paul.
Oh, not Prince Paul. Oh,
Paul is Extra P. Large Professor's real name too. So he was like, you were friends with him. Why didn't he join the UMA? Like, why did you have this guy, this like unknown guy? He's like, Q-Tip was like, kept telling him like, Paul had his own career already. He had his own. He was already established. When I met Dilla, he had a couple things out, but like I wanted to manage him. Like the music was so good, I felt it would blend well with what we were doing already. And this guy kept hounding him about. I'm like, wow, I forgot that's how they used to interview back in the days. It was terrible, man. It was terrible.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I prefer the more, and I mean, of course, you can see how the interview plays out. I like the more barbershop type of interview. And I mean, you got LeBron doing it. And I mean, even in my show, I let people know we kind of like when we talk about an episode or a movie, we're kind of barbershopping. We're like, I'm not.
Yeah. We done went on like 5 different.
And then in the second scene, and then in the third scene, it's like we just go and kick topics and have a good time, so people can feel comfortable and they don't have to be like, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Oh man. But before we wrap,
let's get a little bit of the rock. A little bit of the rock.
Before we wrap, I want to talk about Rockwilder real quick. One thing that stood out to me was when he broke down that he made the beat for Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs, yeah.
And I am so tired of hearing these stories of beats getting stolen from like producers. And I mean, I know someone's going to be like, yo, that's just the nature of the game, but it shouldn't be, man. I'm so tired. This is maybe the 3rd or 4th producer I think I've heard where it's like, oh yeah, I made that and it was stolen from me. And
I mean, I think every producer
such and such put their name on it. I mean, Dilla, we just brought up JD a second ago. Dilla is like, come on, man. Then the weird thing is it's done by people that they're supposed to be rolling with. Like, that's the weird thing. And
that was weird. And it wasn't even done by Eric Sermon. It was just done by the politics of like, Eric Sermon's a bigger name. Yeah. And we'll just put his name on it. And that was so weird. Like, I wonder what Eric Sermon has to say about that. Because, like...
Yeah. Because I'm sure like, Eric Sermon was like, I didn't do
that
this.
That album, he got a Grammy for it. Eric Sermon got a Grammy for it. Yeah, he should be giving that Grammy to Rockwilder.
A Grammy. Okay, so at this point in time, we're talking about Hard Knock Life. This is Volume 2. This is 2000.
Nope, 98.
98.
Volume 2 is 98.
I thought it was 2001. So all right, see, look, guys, when you get old, all right. So all right, so this is 98. It's huge for a young upcoming. Well, I mean, I don't know how young he was, but I mean, for a new producer that's kind of
like. He said he was in his 20s when it happened. He said he was in his 20s when it happened.
All right, so someone in their 20s doing that at that time, that Grammy would have been huge for him. Would have opened up, and I mean, yes, it did open doors, but a Grammy at that time would have been huge. Would have opened up so many doors for him. And Eric Sermon had his shine. You know what I'm saying? Now, he might not have had a Grammy, but he definitely had his shine. And he was, I guess, continually having shine because at 98, how far off was Just Like Music from 98?
Couple years.
Maybe just like a year prior?
A year or two, maybe?
So I mean, it's not like he wasn't having like fame or popularity or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the politics of like, oh well, this guy made it, but we're not going to say he did it because he's not popular.
Yeah, that's just so weird that they did that.
I've been caught up in some stuff like that recently. I'll tell the story.
Really?
I'll tell the story about it after San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
But popularity, it don't matter. You can be doing something great. You can be doing something a long time. It don't matter. If you don't have the followers, now back then it wasn't really about followers because followers didn't even really exist. But if you don't have the followers, guys, it don't matter.
It's all about it's the numbers. It's not following numbers. It was always about the numbers. If you don't have the numbers, they're gonna put it somewhere else who has the numbers, so they can keep making the numbers. It's like the label did it just so that they can get more people looking at it because Eric Sermon's name's a part of it. Yeah. And it's like, but what happened to the person who really did the work? Like, I don't.
You buried the guy that really did the work.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, it did open the doors for him to do it again and work with Jay. Actually, work with Jay in the studio with Jay. So it was one of those things. Like, if he made us think about it, really made us think about it, he probably wouldn't have got that shot, which happens to a lot of people. They make us, like, this is wrong. This is wrong. They don't know that this is just it's weirdly enough. That's like how business is done.
It's like a musical hazing ritual or something like that. It's like, and I would, you know what?
See if you can take it.
You know what would make me feel better about this? Say, okay, you steal the credit, right? But if a dude wrote up on me and said, "Yo, Rock, had to be Eric, but going to take this couple grand." You know what I'm saying? Like something like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, here's 10 grand. You know what I'm saying? But hey, thanks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I don't know if he still got paid for
nothing
that.
happens. Like you just look up and you like look on TV and you're like, hey, my name's supposed to be right there.
Yeah. It's rampant. It's been running rampant since the beginning of the industry. And the musicians. Think about the musicians that never got paid. Think about all the musicians in music history that's never got paid for their work. To this day. To this day. Or house bands that came up with the idea for like 3-4 songs of classic Motown albums that got paid like a day rate. And like that stuff happens. And you like, hold up, but these songs are classic. Like, these are like family reunion, Soul Train line songs. And it's like, and he got paid like $20 for that day and he went home. And it's like, but he laid down the whole groove for all the it don't matter. Like, that's how Barry was. The producer takes all the money. The producer takes all the money.
Man, crazy.
It's not even crazy because that's how, like, think about this country, how this country started. And look where, like, it's sewn in, it's woven in like fabric, for lack of a better analogy. But it's the same thing in hip hop. The music business started like that, and they have continued it in every genre. It's not just hip hop genre. People are getting robbed on all fronts.
Yeah, rock and roll, blues, you name it. Some song that you think is amazing was sung by somebody. Even the late, it was this chick that was singing in a lot of old like dance and house music, but she was a black woman, but she was heavy, so she was big, so she won't like sexy, right? So then they changed and put the skinny girl up there, and they have it like she's doing the singing.
Milli Vanilli,
Martha Wash. All right, so Martha Wash is the lady that's singing, but she was a big girl. So they like, we ain't putting no big girl on TV. So then they put the skinny girl up there, but she ain't even singing the joint, and she getting all the fame. Martha Wash. Now I think she had to take them to court to get that bread, didn't she? Yeah, she even had to take them to court. Like people. Yeah,
I think I remember her.
People just don't want to do right. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
I
it's gonna
remember.
take them.
That's crazy.
Kid it Hart.
I mean, that's what you have to do. Like, and even that, like, think about I just listened to Hit Boy when he was on Quali's show. And Hit Boy talking about
shouts
that.
to the BKMC.
He's been in the industry for like 10 years, and since he's been in the industry, he's been getting robbed for 10 years.
Wow.
He just now got some things figured out, but there's still way more money that's supposed to be going his way and credit going his way.
Wow, man.
They get you young, so you don't know better. They get you when you're vulnerable. When you
so I'll end on this statement so we can go in and bounce. But I can't remember the young man's name in the Method Man interview. He was talking about the reason that he thinks that the industry and the media circus around music as a whole keeps older artists from young artists is because the older artists, if you create that relationship at all, sooner or later you're gonna be like, yo man, don't mess with that dude. Because he robbed me, he robbed my boy, and he stole that, and he stole credit for that, or she did this, or she fired that dude for no reason, and they'll download the game. So it's like they'll bring in a person, rob them for 5 to 10 years, wash them out, bring someone brand new, but then keep the beef between the younger and older artists so that you can never really learn, because it's like you bring them in young, and there's no one older.
Yeah, it's
because they
like
keep this beef
young
going
and
on.
fresh.
Old people hate young people, and young people hate old people, and that's just how it is.
Yeah. And that's it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and it's a wheel that just keeps rolling. That's why it keeps rolling in this manner. And I'm like, how come it can't roll in a way where it's respectful and it's honorable? How come it can't roll that way? Well, that way doesn't work. That's not the way of the world. So I'm like, what's really got happening here? You know, let me fall asleep again. That's funny. My phone fell asleep. I'm like, it never falls asleep. But I'm like, maybe I can't put on low power. But let me plug this thing in.
The interviews are up. The interviews up on Math Hoffa's channel. I love them both, man. I love both of the interviews. There's a lot of, and I forgot the Q-tip one. I got to go back and watch the Q-tip one because I've only seen one clip from
I got one thing to say, and it's a nerdy thing for the nerds that like beats and stuff like that. When Rockwilder starts to talk about throw your hands up, do it again, and he starts talking about it's a 3-bar loop because of Q-tip, and the musicality of it is because of Swiss Beats. I'm like, you know what? Rockwilder is in between, I would say, Q-tip and Swiss Beats in a way. Like that is, you can see the inspiration because he's not Eric Sermon. He don't sound like Eric Sermon. He don't sound like nobody in the Hit Squad.
No,
he's flashy like Swiss, but there's a musicality to it that I never really put together to it. That's very like Q-tip inspired in terms of the nerdiness of him saying 3-bar loop and being like inspired by Electric Relaxation, which is a 3-bar loop. Like that beats a 3-bar loop.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, he understands more than he's on a level that like, okay, then he knows about Dilla, then he knows about he's paying attention. Like, not saying Swiss is not. I'm just saying like it was cool for him to bridge those two together and make that track like that.
That's what's up. That was cool. Kid at Heart. Q-Tip has a show with Math Hoffa. I don't know how long ago it was, but it maybe 2 months now.
I can look it up.
Maybe a couple months, but yeah, go on Math Hoffa. Regular math, HOFFA.
I'm gonna look see what it is. It was a couple months ago.
Q-Tip was on there, I think, like 2 months ago, something like that.
I could put the link in the chat. Boom.
Oh yeah. Throw the link in the chat.
I mean, you happen to help them out a little bit, They need more views.
We're here to assist. And if you see Math Hoffa out in the streets, tell him NERDSoul said thank you. Good stuff.
Let me put that
It'll matter to him. No, he'll be like, all right. But with that said, Arckatron, where can people find you?
You can find me. You can find me at arckatron.com. You can find my whole discography from 08 to now because I got a new album, Lango. Go check that out. we're gonna have some more information on that on this channel soon about like the ins and outs and the nerdiness, because this is NERDSoul, so why not?
That's right. You know
So
what I'm saying? Music nerds too.
Yeah. We're gonna get real deep with the nerdiness on this one. I got some.
And I gotta get that.
Some things
I gotta put that on the thing. I gotta put that on the drive so I can have that in the car too. Because there's a couple of new albums that I don't have in the car yet, so I gotta. Oh yeah, because brother, the USB and the SD card, you can put it in. Yeah, so
we got a new whip over here now, man. This is a long. We gotta talk about that. That's a long story, but we got a new whip. We got CD player, man. CD player in the car in a long time. So
I got a new whip. All right, I got a USB. All right, okay. I got an SD card. I got a CD player. Oh, brother, look, man, times is looking better over here in NERDSoul. We got a sunroof again. All right, we went from sunroof to no sunroof to no sunroof. Now back to a sunroof. So we look, man. Hey, look. All right. In some ways,
we only building up.
In some ways, it's a good thing that I was rear-ended on 405. Take that, and just draw that line to the new sunroof. But NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. Like this channel, subscribe to this channel, share this channel. Right now. That's how you support, man. I mean, I know we got the money down below, Patreon. Definitely, I got gifts and stuff for all that. But if you can't put a penny, you know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe. It helps for real. Until next time, which will be in a couple of minutes, we're talking about Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, and we got Thor: Love and Thunder tonight.
Oh, you watched? You seen it? You seen it?
Yeah, I seen it.
I ain't seen it. I ain't seen those. I ain't gonna watch none. I ain't gonna watch that show probably for a while. I ain't gonna watch this one for a while. I want to know what your thoughts are, but I gotta see it. So
all right. Well, and then tomorrow we got, of course, the finale of The Boys. But from us to you, thank you for watching and peace.
Peace. And for you.
Oh yeah, man. Look, this is a perfect episode to say a woo, and a woo for you.
Woo for you. Yeah.
We out. Peace.
Peace.
If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like